Linda Hardy, and I'm the FCS agent in Henderson County. So I know several faces in here, but I feel like there's a few new people. So I'm glad you all are here. We are going to learn a little bit about pickleball. So how many of you all have played pickleball? Okay, so you may know more about it than I do, and that is perfectly fine. So does anybody know where pickleball got its name from? Anybody? No? Okay, well, 3 dads invented this game in 1965 to help their children fight summer boredom.
What time, when did you say 1965?
1965. So there's been 2 different things that they've said that the word came from. It is derived from the sport of rowing, where the slowest craft is called a pickle boat. And then other accounts say that it was from the one of the founders' dogs. His name was Pickles. So we really don't know which was which, but we do know that 3 dads did invent pickleball. So we're going to talk a little bit about it. I've got a couple of videos that I'm going to show you and go from there. Let's see. I have it on. Maybe I don't have it on. I don't.
You know, there was a segment on NPR, which I was driving, didn't really pay a lot of attention to, all about the history of pickleball and how it's taken on. And then I saw a thing on what you need to know after your show's on, and they say that actually there's more health benefits to tennis than there is to pickleball, but I don't think it's as dangerous.
It's not, yeah, you're right. There, and we'll show you on here that the court, I don't know why it's not, am I doing something wrong? I can use the button.
It might be the battery.
I'll just use the button, it's fine.
We have another one.
Well,
Yeah, I think you have to hit the,
it's not going to
There.
work. It's like it's frozen.
oh boy. Okay.
Okay, that'll work. Okay, so pickleball is the fastest growing sport in America over the last 2 years. We're hearing a ton about pickleball. It has grown in popularity a lot because of age, body types, and skill levels can all play this. So anybody can play pickleball. It's very easy and affordable. It's accessible, it's fun, it's social. It's a friendly game that's a combination of badminton, ping pong, and tennis all together. So if that gives you an idea. The court is a lot smaller than what you would think about when you think of tennis. It's played with a large paddle. I bought me a set of pickleball paddles. Got them on Amazon, but I think you could get them at any sports store. So it's a large paddle. It's more like a wooden paddle. So and plastic balls. So they're a lot like wiffle balls. They've got the holes in them, and they do have an indoor and an outdoor one. So the balls for the indoor they still have the holes, they still look like this, but they specifically say indoor. And then these are outdoor ones. So they're a hard plastic.
The indoor ones, the holes are bigger.
They're bigger, okay.
If those are outdoor, the indoor ones.
So if y'all wanna pass these around, and that way you can kind of feel what you've got. The other thing is beginners learn quickly with this game. It's typically played with a group of 4. You can play 2, 1-on-1, but typically it's played 2-on-2. It's typically associated with older adults that have retired that get together. A lot of people or a lot of communities are starting to have pickleball courts. So your community may have a pickleball court. There's a lot of organizations now that are playing pickleball. And then some people are even building these at their home. Do you have one at your home?
I do.
Awesome. Did you build it for that, or was it something else prior?
There was a huge basketball court in my
Okay.
backyard, concrete pads, so my husband painted the stripes on for me.
Oh,
I have a pickleball court in my
awesome.
backyard.
That is so cool. I think that's so neat. 60% of pickleball participants are 55 and older. 33% are 65 and older. So a lot of these, a lot of seniors are playing this. So, which tells me it is it's not gonna hurt, you're not gonna get as hurt if you were playing pickleball compared to something else. If you all have any questions, just stop me. So why do people like pickleball? Again, it's fun. It's a good social game. It's typically very familiar to people. A lot of people will remember playing that, whether they play the ping pong tennis table or badminton. You know, a lot of people grew up on those things. So this is something that can remind you of that. And again, it's easy to learn. The courts, again, are smaller, require less running than tennis. 4 pickleball courts fit in 1 tennis court. So that's how small it is. You don't need a great big spot. Like she said, she could take her basketball court and make a pickleball court.
And I still have room to play other games back there.
That's so neat. That's great. All skill levels can play, from beginning to professional. It again, it's designed to be fun and carefree, and like I said, a good social game. Let's see. Okay, so this is a great website to go to. It's got a lot of good information. They have a USA Pickleball, and it's usapickleball.org. Okay, thank you. It's got a lot of different resources. There it is. Thank you. You can also go on that website and search your zip code, and it'll show you where all the pickleball courts are in your community. Okay. So again, this does help anyone. It enhances physical, mental, and social activity. So again, great for mental health. People typically get hooked on pickleball because it's fun. It doesn't seem like exercise, because a lot of times if we say we're going to exercise, we get tired of exercise. But if we make it fun, it's not really considered, even though it is exercise, it's not how our brain thinks of it to be as exercise. So playing an hour of pickleball 3 days a week for 6 weeks can help our blood pressure, our cholesterol, and our cardiovascular fitness. And then again, help with weight management too. It can also help with hand-eye coordination, and which also can help with some of those daily activities that we don't think about, like our daily driving, or even our fall prevention. All of that is of course important as well. So we know that it can definitely help our mood. Again, this is all about mental health. Stress reducer. It stimulates the mind, requires quick thinking and strategy. And again, can help reduce depression, help with self-esteem, and give us a sense of purpose. Because we know a lot of times when we become seniors and we retire, we're looking for something like that. We're looking for a good activity to keep us going. So bringing people together. Of course, it brings people together, encourages people, whether you're going to play with family or friends, neighbors, meet new friends, and then that social aspect of not having that loneliness is also really important. And I don't know, are any of you competitors? Because it can be a very competitive game too. So I think I have gone through all that. Okay, so let's talk about how you play. So we talked about the paddles. Paddles typically cost between $15 to $200. I can tell you these paddles were not anywhere near $200. They were more the $15. And the indoor-outdoor balls, you do want to have some court shoes depending on the surface. You want to make sure that you have some good shoes on. And many stores now do carry pickleball equipment. And I thought I read somewhere, see if I can find it. It may be in one of the videos. I have watched a ton of videos on pickleball in the last week, just trying to, because I've never played, I'll be honest. I've watched it, but I've never played. And one of the things they said was the shoes that you wear are really important. You want to make sure that they're tennis shoes, but they're not like running shoes. Because something about you go too fast in running, and these, I don't know, they're not flat, and you want more like a tennis, like a shoe you would wear when you play tennis. I know my daughter plays tennis, and she showed up one day with like the Air in the bottom of her shoe, you know, I don't know, they're like Nike Air or something, and they were like, no, the bottoms have to be completely flat, and I think hers were more like running shoes. So you want to make sure it's more like a tennis. So you can have up to 16 people playing doubles on a modified tennis court. So that's a lot of people on a tennis court to bring down to one. So this is what the court looks like. Like I said, very different. So basically there is a non-volleyball line in the red. There's a non-volleyball line zone in kitchen, is what they call it. And then a right service area, left service, center line, and sideline. Okay, so what does all this mean? So the kitchen is the line box on either side of the net. So that's both the kitchen. A player must be outside the kitchen to hit the ball in the air on a volley. A player can step inside the kitchen to hit a ball once it bounces, but they must move out of the kitchen. So if they don't move out and they hit it, then it's not counted. And that's also known as the non-volley zone. So that's why it's on both sides. I was ahead of myself, but not on here. Okay. There's also a thing called dink, a soft shot hit on a bounce from the kitchen intended to arc over the net and land within the opposite side of the kitchen, either straight across or diagonally cross court. So it doesn't have to, let me go back. So it can go diagonally or straight across. It is, so players can gather in the kitchen following a 2 bounce rule. And I'm going to show you all a video, which makes more sense than me just explaining this to you. Dink shots are used to play until your opposite or your opponent either faults or your opponent hits a shot you can return to the other side. So very similar to some of these other games. Okay. So we're gonna watch these videos because I think they will explain it a little bit better. And they're very short.
Hiya, my name is Stacy Townsend, and let's learn to play better pickleball with Pickler and USA Pickleball. Have you heard about pickleball yet? You know, the fastest growing sport in the country. Pickleball is a paddle sport commonly referred to as a mix of table tennis, tennis, and badminton.
This is a pickleball court. The pickleball court has 2 sides and is divided by a net. There are 4 lines: the base lines, the side lines, the center line, and the non-volley zone lines. This area is called the non-volley zone, which we also affectionately call the kitchen.
In addition to the pickleball court, which you can set up just about anywhere, a driveway, a gym, a dedicated court like this one, all you need to play is a pickleball paddle, a pickleball, and some friends to play with.
Pickleball is a sport for all ages, skill levels, and can be played as either a doubles or a singles game. It's easy to learn and comes with an amazing and welcoming culture and community of people. Although pickleball can be played as both a doubles and a singles game, it's most commonly played as a doubles game. So there will be 2 people set up on each side of the pickleball court to start a game. To start a pickleball game, 1 team will serve. The pickleball must be served cross court into the service box. Unlike tennis, the serve in pickleball must be underhand. Also, unlike tennis, both the serve and the return of serve must bounce. This is called the 2 bounce rule. After the serve and the return of serve, either team may volley the pickleball. In other words, after the serve and the return, either team may hit the pickleball either in the air or after a bounce. Each rally will continue until someone makes a fault. For instance, there is a double bounce, someone hits the pickleball out of bounds, the pickleball hits someone anywhere other than below their paddle side wrist, someone hits it into the net, etc.
Now, what makes the sport of pickleball truly unique is the area on the court called the non-volley zone, which is also affectionately called the kitchen. The non-volley zone is the 14-foot space in the middle of the court, which extends 7 feet on either side of the net.
You may not volley the pickleball, in other words, hit the pickleball out of the air while making contact with the kitchen. Contact with the kitchen includes standing in the kitchen or allowing your momentum to carry you into the kitchen after you hit the pickleball.
Kitchen.
Are you ready to play pickleball? Jump on a court and get ready to join the movement that is more than just a sport. If you like this pickleball video, be sure to share it with your pickleball friends and partners, and we'll see you out on the pickleball courts.
And you all should have that in your PowerPoint link. Do you all have that? You may not. Basically, we just, let's see, it's under, oh shoot, it went all the way back to front. It is, that web address is, I can give it to you if you all want. You all want that video or? Okay, it's a bunch of, it's like letters. Okay, it's under YouTube. And it's I, like in seeing, I, P, T, B, K, 013, C, I, M.
What's the B on it?
Let me give it to you. Here, I'll just pass it around. It's right here.
Would you say that loud again? I want to be sure I have it correctly.
I'll have her pass this around. so you
Okay,
can get
thank
it.
you. I think I have it right, but I want to be sure. And I can give it to them too, if they want to go watch it on
Yes,
YouTube.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So this next one is how to play. Yeah, I don't know why they didn't put those on
Hiya,
the
my name is
sheets, but
Stacy Townsend, and let's learn to play better pickleball with Pickler and USA Pickleball. Your friends, co-workers, the news, celebrities, everybody is talking about the fastest growing sport, pickleball. Now it's time for you to join the fun.
Pickleball can be played as a doubles game, where you have 2 players on each side of the court. Or it can be played as a singles game, where there's only 1 person on each side of the court. To start a game, decide who will serve first. Any fair method will do. Once you decide who serves first, the player starting on the right-hand side of the court will serve. Pickleball uses an underhand serve, or you can use a drop serve, and the serve must go cross court. Pickleball has a 2 bounce rule, which means the first 2 shots of a rally must bounce. So both the serve must bounce and the return must bounce. From there, you may hit the pickleball off the bounce or out of the air, which we call a volley.
The rally will continue until someone makes a fault.
For instance, there's a double bounce, someone hits a pickleball out of bounds, or someone hits the pickleball into the net. All shots that are in the court or on the lines of the court are in, except that the serve must be in the service box beyond the kitchen line. If the serve hits the kitchen or the kitchen line, then that is out. Out balls are called by the player or team on the side of the pickleball court where the pickleball bounces. Be sure to call out balls loudly and only when you see the pickleball out of bounds.
Out! Now let's talk about scoring in pickleball, which admittedly can be a little confusing. First, you can only score if you're the serving team.
So if you win the rally as a serving team, you win a point, you switch sides of the court, and the same server will serve but in the opposite direction. If you lose the rally as a serving team, then the serve moves to the next player. If the serve goes to the other side of the court, which we call a side out, then the person on the right-hand side of the court will go first in doubles pickleball. In singles pickleball, you will serve on the side of the court based on your score. In doubles pickleball, the first serving team only has one service turn. This is why you start every doubles game with a loud tip. After the first side out, each side then has two service turns. In other words, each player gets a shot at serving.
Speaking of the score, be sure to shout it out loudly before every serve.
The first number is your score. The second number is the other side's score. And the third number is which service turn you are on for doubles pickleball. Singles pickleball, which is less popular than doubles pickleball, will only have two numbers. For instance, 0-0, because each side will only have one service turn. Most pickleball games are played to 11 points, and you must win by 2 points. One other unique rule to the sport of pickleball is that you cannot hit the ball out of the air while you are standing in the non-volley zone. In other words, no volleys in the kitchen. This also means that your momentum cannot carry you into the kitchen when hitting a volley.
Kitchen.
Reaching over the non-volley zone line above the surface area of the court is permitted. You can also hit the pickleball after the pickleball is bounced in the non-volley zone. You can even stand in the kitchen, although not recommended, as long as you are not volleying the pickleball. So again, no volleys in the kitchen.
So let's put it all together.
We have an underhand serve, must go cross court. Both the serve and the return must bounce. If the serving team wins the rally, they get a point and switch sides. Remember, you only switch sides if you win a point as the serving team. If the serving team loses, then everyone stays put, no points are awarded, and the serve goes to the next person. First team to 11 points wins. At the end of the game, be sure to paddle tap and give kudos for a great game. And lastly, remember, no volleys in the kitchen.
So do you have it all down? If not, no worries. Get out there, join the fun, and the fastest growing sport, pickleball.
Okay, y'all ready to go play? Okay, I think there is one more.
I wonder why it took so long for this to catch on if it started in 1965.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy that it's been around that long, but it hasn't like gotten out?
Yeah.
And maybe it's just now gotten here. I don't know. I don't know of anywhere else that's playing it, but who knows? Okay, this next one is called Basics for Success.
Hiya, my name is Stacy Townsend, and let's learn to play better pickleball with Pickler and USA Pickleball.
I'm Stefan Jolicoeur, pickleball coach and founder of Jolie Sports in South Florida. If you're just stepping on the pickleball course, there are a few basics to success that you should know.
For instance, keep your paddle up, be in an athletic stance with your knees bent, take short back swings, hit the pickleball out in front of your body, and exercise patience. These quick tips will go a long way.
Another basic to success is called positioning. Being at the right place at the right time can win you a lot of points on the pickleball court.
With that said, the general rule of thumb on the pickleball courts is to work your way to the non-volley zone line, or the kitchen line, as soon as possible, whether you are the server or receiver, as most points in pickleball are won there. But remember, in pickleball, there is a 2-bounce rule. In other words, the serve must bounce and the return to serve must bounce. This is why, when you're the serving team, you should stay back at the baseline to prepare for the return to serve, since you are not allowed to volley the return. By staying back at the baseline, you will give yourself plenty of room for the return to bounce. Then, after the 3rd shot, you and your partner, as the serving team, should immediately work your way to the kitchen line. Depending on your style of play, you can be aggressive and get all the way to the kitchen line as soon as you know who's hitting the 3rd shot. Or you can be methodical and only move in when you know you hit a good shot. Either way, be sure to do 3 things. 1, follow the flight of the pickleball in order to cover the most likely shots from your opponents. 2, split step before your opponents make contact in order to prepare for your shot. And 3, stay linked with your partner about 6 to 8 feet away to avoid leaving open holes on the court. If you are the returning team, only the player receiving the serve should be behind the baseline. The non-receiving player should already be positioned at the kitchen line. Once the receiving player strikes the serve, that player should immediately join his or her partner at the kitchen line.
Remember, most points are won at the non-volley zone line, so it is imperative that you try to make your way up there as soon as possible.
And while it is important to feel comfortable from any place on the court, you generally want to stay out of this area, known as the transition zone, as it is too easy for your opponents to hit aggressive, winning shots. So know where to start on the pickleball court. Remember to let the serve and return bounce. Do your best to get to that kitchen line and out of the transition zone, and then hold the kitchen line until you win the point. If you like this pickleball video, be sure to share it with your pickleball friends and partners, and we'll see you out on the pickleball courts.
Okay, so y'all all know how to play pickleball now? It's kind of hard to sit and watch and not do, which I really contemplated making a pickleball court, but I thought that's going to be a whole lot, and timing probably would catch me where I wouldn't be able to finish it. So anyway, one of the big things that you need to be careful of when we talk about pickleball is, of course, being safe. You know, you want to make sure, because you are doing quick movements, a lot of that from side to side and from front to back, and you just want to make sure that you aren't falling or having an injury. And you know, of course, head trauma could be one too. Again, this is with anything, but this is a sport, so it is more of a low impact sport, but you do still have to be careful. We do know falls are one of the leading causes of injury and injury-related deaths among adults 65 and older. So the falling is the biggest thing that you want to look out for. And a lot of times, some of the common injuries would be rotator cuff, sprains or strains, muscles, tendons, and joints of broken bones, abrasions and lacerations. Injury, this is going to make you all not want to do this, right? Injury to the knee, aggravating arthritis, but on the flip side, it can prevent some of this as well, because if you're out exercising, you're getting your bones stronger, you're preventing some of this stuff. It can also cause some fractures. Hand and wrist are, you know, you've got a lot of movement with your hand and your wrist, so you do have to be careful with that as well. The other thing is you want to make sure that you are wearing protective gear for your eyes. Again, that helps with the sun, but it also, you know, you want to make sure that, you know, you can see, and that you, and also, you know, the chance of breaking glasses could happen as well. We always say talk to a healthcare provider if you're thinking about doing something more strenuous than your daily activity. And never get on wet courts, because there again takes a chance of falling. You do want to make sure you're using the proper paddle and ball when you're doing this, because again, you can get injuries if you're not using the right equipment. Always take breaks, make it fun. Have a water bottle with you. It's always important to stay hydrated. And you know, you may need sometimes to use some ice packs, and that's okay. You know, if you're getting some sore muscles, that's okay. And again, if you have any pre-existing conditions, you do want to talk to your healthcare provider. And then of course, if any pain continues, you definitely do. So there are a few exercises that you can do with your clubs if you want to. These are exercises that if you were out on the court, you could do this just outside, but just practicing, you know, with the swing and the ball and everything. So you could do that. You could also do some warm-ups, like gentle twisting moves. And then also, if you wanted to do like high knee, that kind of thing, you could do with this as well. Okay. So, let's see, I think, so there, like I said, there's 3 exercises that you could do if you all want to participate in a hands-on when you're teaching this to your club. You can do that. So, towards the end of this, you know, again, the best way to get involved in something is to go out there, show up, have a friend go with you, find out where your counties have pickleball courts or clubs, because that website will take you there and show you each individual county and where those courts could be. And then decide if you and your friend are going to play together or against each other. If you're going to play together, then you need another set of friends. So take 3 friends with you, and then you can play against each other. Again, one thing we didn't talk about, it doesn't have to be all women, doesn't have to be all men. It can be a mixture. It's a game for everyone. You could play with your kids or your grandkids. You know, it's a great family sport. The biggest thing though is being patient to learn how to play, having fun, taking care of yourself, and also just being active. It's a great way to be active. So do you all have any questions? No? Okay.
I have a comment on the negative part of it, which the news would bring out, of course, is that in some neighborhoods where there are pickleball courts, people are playing way into the night, and they hear that ping, ping, ping. You've heard that, haven't you?
Yeah.
And it goes on, and I'm sure by now they're regulating that, but at a certain time it's gotta stop.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I wouldn't wanna live next to one, hearing that go on and on.
Right, right. Well, and it's like any sport, you know, the biggest thing that comes to mind thinking of that, I think about people who live near a baseball field, and you've got those bright lights at night, you know, so every sport kind of comes with, you know, a downfall like that if you live near it. But yeah, you're right. It would probably get annoying if you lived beside it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you had your own, you wouldn't have to worry about it. You
Or
know?
go to, like
Yeah.
she told me that one's for a Christian.
Yes, they play it once for
Mhm.
Christmas for
Is that where you play? Okay.
when I play.
Theirs is indoors, isn't it?
Yes, it's indoors. But
Is it in the gym?
uh-huh.
Okay.
Do they have anyone to teach you?
There's a whole group of people that show up on Friday mornings at 10:30, and some of them are very, very good, and they're very, very patient with people like me, and they will teach you to play pickleball.
And they also have somebody that's on staff there all the time when it's open, don't they?
Yes, there's a person at the check-in counter all the time, but they're very, very patient, and
Well, you
Yeah.
want that when you're learning.
Yes.
Because it's all so new.
Oh,
and-
yeah,
and you
absolutely.
don't wanna Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But I am going to play more before I go and show people how to play pickleball.
Yeah, it really has been a fast-growing thing, and it's amazing to me how, like some of you have said, how much it has grown just in the last year or two. We went from not really hearing about it to now it's the new rave, and like I said, it's a great exercise, and it's one of those, if you miss a ball and it goes by you, oh well, you just pick it right back up and go ahead and start over. So, little less intense than tennis. Like I said, my daughter plays tennis, and that back and forth on those courts, it's a lot.
It's very difficult to play, just with two people. I can't do that.
Yeah. So, and they recommend 4.
Yeah.
So it's recommended 4, but 2 could play if that's all you
can play
have.
singles, but
Yeah,
it's too much running for my old knee.
yeah. So does anybody, that was a good comment. Does anybody have any other suggestions or questions or anything? No? Okay. Well, I look forward to hearing about y'all's pickleball games.